Hello there. You are hearing me on what is, I hope, to be an incredibly high-quality microphone. I'm giving this a good test as I've come into possession of this. Unfortunately, it has required that I part with a rather large amount of my British pounds, and therefore I would very much like to get my money's worth out of it, which I don't think is entirely an unworthy cause at all. So, to begin, I thought, having read Don Quixote quite a bit recently, I thought I would attempt my very best at providing for you and your entertainment a large ham reading in the style of Miles Gloriosus of a random excerpt from one of the chapters, which I hope will be immensely entertaining. So, without further ado, let us begin anon. But while he was questioning him, they heard a loud outcry at the gate of the inn, the cause of which was that the two of the guests, who had passed the night there, seeing everybody busy about finding what it was the four men had wanted, had conceived the idea of going off without paying what they owed. But the landlord, who minded his own affairs more than other people's, caught them going out of the gate, and demanded his reckoning, abusing them so for their dishonesty with such language that he drove them to reply with their fists, and so they began to lay in on him in such a style that the poor man was forced to cry out and call for help, and now my Kindle's shut down. Hang on, need to large ham it up a bit. I, Miles Gloriosus, jump on my sword, evil! I will not be so gentle! There we go. The landlady and her daughter could see no one more free to give aid than Don Quixote, and to him the daughter said, Sir Knight, by virtue the god has given you, help my poor father, for the two wicked men are beating him to a mummy. To which Don Quixote very deliberately and phlegmatically replied, Fair damsel, at the present moment your request is inopportune, for I am debarred from involving myself in any adventure until I have brought to a happy conclusion one to which my word has pledged me. But that I can do for you I will now mention. Run and tell your father to stand his ground as well as he can in this battle, and on no account to allow himself to be vanquished, while I go and request permission of the Princess What? Princess Micomicona? Princess Micomicona to enable me to succour him in his distress, and if she grants it, rest assured I will relieve him of it. Sinner that I am, exclaimed Maritornes, who stood by. Before you have got your permission, my master will be in another world. Give me leave, Senora, to obtain the permission of which I speak, returned Don Quixote, and if I get it, it will matter very little if he is in another world, or this one, for I will rescue him thence in spite of all the same world. This is going to be highly unedited, I hope you realise. I will give you such a revenge over those who shall have him sent there that you will be more than moderately satisfied. And without saying anything any more, he went and knelt before Dorothea, requesting her highness in knightly errant and phrase to be pleased to grant him permission to aid and to succour the castellan of that castle, who now stood in grievous jeopardy. The princess granted it gracefully, and he at once, bracing his buckler on his arm and drawing his sword, hastened to the inn-gate, where the two guests were still handling the landlord roughly. But soon as he reached the spot where he stopped short and stood still, the Maritornes and the landlady asked him why he hesitated to help their master and husband. I hesitate, said Don Quixote, because it is not lawful for me to draw sword against persons of squirely condition, but call my squire Sancho for me, for this defence and vengeance are his affair and business. Thus matters stood at the inn-gate, where there were a very lively exchange of fisticuffs and punches, to the sore damage of the landlord, and to the wrath of Maritornes, the landlady, and her daughter, who were furious when they saw the pusillanimity of Don Quixote and the hard treatment of their master, husband, and father were undergoing. But let us leave him there, for he will surely find someone to help him, and if not, let him suffer and hold his tongue who attempts more than his strength allows him to do. And let us go back 50 paces to see what Don Lewis said in reply to the judge, whom we left questioning him privately as to his reasons for coming on foot and so meanly dressed. Well, that was entertaining. Wonder how popular this'll get. Probably will. I'm thinking of doing some more, but the book is adequately colossal. So I don't think I could do the entire thing, and besides, I'm sure my neighbours would have a lot to say if I was to large ham the entirety of a book. Also, given the seismic activity of Wales, it's probably not a good idea. It's on a very nice level right now, and if I large ham it up too much, I'm sure I would end up shifting the tectonic plates a little. But at any rate, I shall cease my rambling there. Wish you a very good day, and yes, I've always had the trouble of not having any idea how exactly I am to end these. Let's go for a nice shortcut. Bye.